The cage was too small. It always was. The tiny alien sat curled inside it, knees to chest, thin arms wrapped tight around its body. The metal bars were cold. The floor smelled of oil and fear. The lights above flickered, never fully dark, never fully bright. There was no night here, no rest, only waiting. The tiny alien did not know its own age. Time had no meaning in this place. It only knew pain, hunger, and noise. Loud alien voices passed by the cage every day. Some laughed, some pointed. Some argued about its value. Too small, one guard said. Still useful, another replied. Everything is useful if it can suffer, a third voice added. The tiny alien lowered its head. It had learned long ago that looking up brought trouble. Its species was weak. That was what the galaxy believed. Small bodies, soft skin. Large eyes that showed fear too easily. Long ago, the powerful races had decided creatures like this were not worth protecting. They were studied, sold, used, forgotten. The tiny alien had been taken from its home world when it was very young. It barely remembered the sky there. It remembered warmth. It remembered a gentle sound like humming, then fire, then ships, then chains. Now there was only the cage. A sharp pain ran through its side as it shifted. An old wound had opened again. The tiny alien made no sound. Crying only made things worse. Crying brought attention. Heavy footsteps echoed down the hall. The guards were coming again. The tiny alien pressed itself into the corner, as small as possible. Its heart beat fast. Too fast. It expected the usual things. Shock rods, sharp tools, cold hands, but something was different. There were new sounds. Not the harsh clicks and growls of the guards. These sounds were deeper, slower, calm. Voices spoke in a strange tone. Clear, steady. The guards stopped. "Who are you?" one guard demanded. "Human explorers," a new voice answered. "We followed a distress signal." Humans. The tiny alien had heard that word before. Other prisoners whispered it, like a warning. Humans were strange, unpredictable. Some said they were violent. Others said they were weak. The guards often laughed when humans were mentioned. "This ship is under council control," a guard said. "Leave." "We can't," the human replied. "There are life signs aboard, including a child." The tiny alien froze. Child. No one had ever used that word for it. The guards argued. Voices grew louder. Then came the sound of metal clashing, shouts, running feet. The ship shook as alarms began to scream. The tiny alien closed its eyes. It thought this was the end. Minutes passed, or seconds. It could not tell. Then the sound stopped. The light steadied. Footsteps approached the cage again, but these were different. Slower. Careful. The tiny alien opened one eye. A tall figure stood outside the bars, not like the guards. This one wore simple armor, scratched and worn. No sharp tools were raised. No weapon pointed at the cage. The figure knelt, actually knelt. The tiny alien's breath caught. Powerful beings did not kneel to creatures like it. A soft light turned on near the bars. The human removed something from a small pack, a packet. Food. The tiny alien stared. It did not move. The human placed the food on the floor, just inside the cage, then slowly stepped back. "I won't hurt you," the human said gently. "You're safe now." The translator device hummed. The words reached the tiny alien's mind. Safe. Word felt wrong. Impossible. This had to be a trick. The tiny alien did not touch the food. It waited for pain, for shouting, for punishment. None came. The human stayed where he was, sitting on the floor, not looking directly at the cage. Giving space. Minutes passed. The tiny alien's stomach twisted with hunger. Slowly shaking, it reached out and pulled the food closer. It took a small bite. Nothing bad happened. The human smiled, just a little. At that moment, something inside the tiny alien cracked open. Not the cage, something deeper. For the first time in its short, painful life, the tiny alien felt something it had no name for. And somewhere in the dark ship, the galaxy took its first step toward change without knowing it yet. The tiny alien did not sleep that cycle. It sat in the corner of the medical room, wrapped in a soft thermal cloth the humans had given it. The fabric was warm, too warm. Warmth made the tiny alien nervous. In the past, comfort always came before pain. The room was quiet, no screams, no shouting guards. Only a low humming sound from the ship. The tiny alien watched the humans through. Half-closed eyes, they moved slowly around the room. They spoke in calm voices. One checked a glowing screen. Another cleaned blood from his sleeve. They were injured, but they did not complain. None of them looked angry at the tiny alien. That confused it more than fear ever had. The tiny alien expected chains. Instead, it was given space. A human medic approached carefully. She knelt a few steps away, just like the first human had done earlier. She held a small light tool, not sharp, not threatening. "You're hurt," she said softly. "I want to help." The translator passed the words into the tiny alien's mind. "Help." The tiny alien pulled back, pressing against the wall. Its breath grew fast. Helping always hurt. The medic stopped moving at once. "That's okay," she said. "I won't touch you unless you say yes." Say yes? The tiny alien did not understand. No one had ever asked it for permission. The wound on its side burned. Dark blood had dried there. Infection was spreading. Even the tiny alien knew that. Much, slowly, very slowly, it nodded. The medic smiled, not wide, not forced, just gentle. She cleaned the wound with warm liquid. It stung, but it was not pain meant to punish. When the tiny alien flinched, the medic paused. "I'm sorry," she said. "Sorry." Another strange word. When the treatment was done, the medic stepped back and bowed her head slightly. "All done," she said. The tiny alien stared at her. Still alive, still unharmed. Something was very wrong with these humans. Later, food came again. Different kinds, soft, easy to eat. The tiny alien tried one piece, then another. Hunger slowly faded. Fear remained, but it was quieter now. The tiny alien noticed something else. The humans argued. Not about hurting it, about protecting it. "We can't keep it here," one said. "If the council finds out, they'll come for it," another replied. "They already hunted its species." "Once," a third said quietly. The tiny alien listened, heart pounding. Hunted, its species. The memories stirred. Fire, screams, running, then nothing. The first human, the one who had offered food at the cage, spoke again. "It's a child," he said firmly. "We don't hand children over." "But it's not human," someone argued. The human turned. His voice stayed calm, but strong. "It doesn't matter." Those words struck the tiny alien like a shock. It doesn't matter. For the first time, its worth was not measured by size, strength, or usefulness. The ship suddenly shook. Alarms screamed again. The tiny alien jumped, curling into itself. Pirates. Scavenger ships had tracked the alien vessel. They wanted cargo, weapons, slaves, and now the tiny alien. A harsh voice filled the ship through speakers. "Hand over the small one," the pirate leader said, "and we let you live." The tiny alien's body trembled. This was how it always ended. Trade. Betrayal. Survival for others. It stood up on weak legs. It did not want the humans to die because of it. The tiny alien stepped toward the door. Before it could reach it, the human captain blocked the way. "No," he said. The tiny alien looked up at him, confused. "They "Want me?" it said through the translator. "Give me." The captain crouched down, meeting its eyes. "We don't trade lives," he said. "Not ours, not yours." The pirates attacked. Explosions rocked the ship. Humans ran to defend their positions. The tiny alien hid under a console, shaking as weapons fired. One human was thrown across the room, blood on his face. Another dragged him to safety. They were getting hurt. Because of it, tears formed in the tiny alien's large eyes. A strange pressure built in its chest, something warm, something painful, something powerful. It did not know the word for it yet, but the tiny alien was beginning to learn that kindness was not free, and that humans were willing to pay its price. The battle ended as suddenly as it began. Silence filled the ship, broken only by the hiss of damaged systems and the soft groans of injured humans. Smoke drifted through the air. Sparks fell from broken panels. The tiny alien slowly crawled out from under the console. Its legs shook out all around it. Humans were hurt. Some sat against the walls, holding their arms or sides. Others lay still as medics rushed to them. Red blood stained the floor. The tiny alien had seen blood before, but never like this. This blood was not caused by anger, it was caused by protection. The tiny alien took a few careful steps forward. No one shouted at it. No one pushed it back. Even now, even after the danger, the humans did not blame it. That made the weight inside its chest grow heavier. A human soldier noticed the tiny alien standing alone. "Hey," he said softly. "You okay?" The tiny alien nodded, though it was not sure that was true. The soldier smiled weakly and gave a small thumbs up before sitting back down, pain clear on his face. The tiny alien looked away, shame burning inside it. If it had never been here, this would not have happened. The ship's captain gathered the crew later in the command room. The tiny alien stayed near the doorway, half hidden behind a crate, listening. "We barely held them off," the captain said. "And that was just pirates." Another human shook his head. "The council won't ignore this. They know what we took from that ship. They'll come," the medic added, "not to talk." The tiny alien's heart raced. Old fears woke inside it. The tiny alien stepped forward before it could stop itself. "I will go," it said through the translator. "They will stop if I go." The room fell quiet. The humans turned to look at the tiny alien. The captain knelt in front of it, slow and careful. "No," he said simply. The tiny alien's eyes widened. "You will die," it said, "because of me." The captain met its gaze. "Maybe," he said, "but not because you are a burden. Because protecting the innocent is who we are." Those words struck deeper than any weapon. Innocent. The tiny alien had never been called that. Before it could reply, pain suddenly shot through its head, sharp, bright, overwhelming. The tiny alien cried out and collapsed to its knees. The room blurred. Voices echoed inside its mind. Not sounds, feelings, fear, pain, regret, love, so much love. The humans gasped. As lights flickered around the tiny alien, "What's happening?" Someone shouted. The medic rushed forward, but stopped when a soft glow spread from the tiny alien's body. Images filled the room, not seen with eyes, but felt. Humans felt each other's fear, each other's hope, each other's memories of family, of loss, of holding someone's hand when the universe felt cruel. They felt the tiny alien's pain too, the cages, the hunger, the loneliness. Some humans fell to their knees, tears running down their faces. The tiny alien screamed, not in fear, but confusion. It did not know it could do this. It did not know it carried something so powerful inside. The glow faded. The tiny alien collapsed, exhausted. When it woke, it was lying on a soft surface. A blanket covered it. The medic sat nearby, eyes red but gentle. What was that? The tiny alien asked weakly. The medic swallowed. I think, she said slowly, you shared yourself with us. The tiny alien turned its head away. I am dangerous, it whispered. That is why my kind was destroyed. The medic shook her head. No, she said firmly. You're afraid and hurt. That doesn't make you dangerous. The captain entered the room. The council fleet just changed course, he said. They felt something. They know now. The tiny alien's body tensed. They will come, it said. Yes, the captain replied. But this time, we will not face them as strangers. The tiny alien looked up at him. Confused. The captain smiled. Calm and steady. They felt your kindness, he said. And now the galaxy will have to decide what to do with it. The tiny alien closed its eyes. It had tried to give itself away. To save the humans. Instead, it had given the galaxy something far more dangerous. A reason to feel. The tiny alien woke to silence. Not the heavy silence of fear, but a calm one. The ship moved smoothly through space. No alarms, no weapons firing. Only the quiet hum of engines and distant human voices. For the first time, the tiny alien did not feel alone. It sat up slowly. Its body felt weak, but lighter somehow. The pressure inside its chest was still there, but it no longer hurt. It felt open. The medic noticed the movement and walked over. Easy, she said gently. You shared a lot of energy. Your body needs rest. The tiny alien looked at her with wide eyes. I did not mean to hurt anyone. You didn't, the medic replied. You showed us something. The tiny alien lowered its gaze. That is why my kind was hunted, it said. We feel too much. When others feel what we feel, they become afraid. The medic pulled up a chair and sat beside the bed. Tell us, she said softly. The tiny alien hesitated. No one had ever asked it to explain itself before. My people were called the feelers, it said. We could link hearts, not minds. Fear, love, pain, hope, we shared all of it. It closed its eyes as memories returned. When the great empires rose, they wanted control. They used fear to rule. We broke that control. Soldiers stopped fighting. Leaders doubted themselves. Empires fell without wars. The medic listened without interrupting. So they erased. U.S., the tiny alien continued. They said kindness was chaos. They said empathy was dangerous. The medic felt her throat tighten. They were wrong, she said. The tiny alien looked at her surprised. Before it could answer, a soft alarm sounded. The captain's voice came through the ship. All crew to the observation deck. The tiny alien followed the medic down the hallway. Humans glanced at it as it passed. Not with fear. Not with hate, with respect. That scared the tiny alien. More than chains ever had. The observation deck lights dimmed. Outside the wide window, space shimmered. A fleet of ships appeared sleek, massive, and cold. The Galactic Council. They are not attacking, someone whispered. They're waiting, another replied. The captain stepped forward. They felt the pulse you sent out, he said. To the tiny alien, every sensitive species did. Fear spread first, then something else. What? The tiny alien asked. Shame, the captain said. A message came through, not a threat. A request. The council wanted to talk. The tiny alien's heart pounded. Talks had never saved its people before. A large figure appeared on the screen. A council speaker, ancient and powerful. We remember your kind, the speaker said. You were a mistake. The room went cold. The tiny alien shrank back. You disrupted order, the speaker continued. You weakened empires. The captain stepped forward. You mean they felt what they caused? The speaker paused. The tiny alien felt it then, a weak emotional shield. The council was afraid. I am sorry, the tiny alien said suddenly. I do not wish to destroy. I only learned kindness. The words echoed through the room. The speaker's voice softened. That is what frightens us. The tiny alien felt something stir inside again. Not a wave this time, a choice. It reached out carefully. Not to force feeling, but to offer it. A soft pulse moved outward. Not pain, not guilt, just warmth. A shared moment of understanding. On the screen, the council speaker stiffened, then exhaled, for the first time in centuries. We forgot what this felt like, the speaker whispered. The fleet did not fire. Across the galaxy, beings paused. Soldiers hesitated. Leaders questioned orders. Fear loosened its grip. The tiny alien swayed, nearly falling. A human caught it, steady and strong. You don't have to do this alone, the human said. The tiny alien looked up. It finally understood. Its power was not a weapon. Kindness was. And humanity had taught it how to use it without destroying itself. Outside the ship, the galaxy stood at the edge of something new. And it was afraid. But not of the tiny alien. It was afraid of what might happen if kindness could no longer be ignored, that the calm did not last. The tiny alien felt it, before anyone said a word. The warmth in the air faded. The gentle hum inside its chest grew tight again. Like a warning, fear was coming back. On the main screen, the Galactic Council fleet stayed in place, but new ships appeared at the edge of space. Not council ships, warships, dark, sharp, and fast. They are not with the council, a human officer said quietly. Independent powers. The captain's jaw tightened. The ones who profit from fear. The tiny alien's hands trembled. It remembered stories whispered by prisoners. Groups that sold lives. Groups that hated its kind more than anyone else. They will try to kill me, the tiny alien said. Yes, the captain replied honestly. Or control you. A harsh signal cut through the room. A new face appeared on the screen. Cold eyes, no symbol of law. Only power. You have something that does not belong to you, the warlord said. Hand over the empath child. The tiny alien flinched at the word child. The warlord smiled thinly. Or we will take it. Behind the screen, weapons powered up. The human ship shook as targeting systems locked on. The tiny alien stepped forward. I will go, it said again. Please. They will stop. The room went still. The tiny alien looked at the humans. Some were injured. Some were tired. All of them looked ready to fight anyway. This time, the captain did not answer right away. That scared the tiny alien most of all. Then the captain placed a hand on the tiny alien's shoulder. No, he said. But we need to be honest with you. The tiny alien looked up. They will not stop, the captain continued. Even if we give you up, they fear what you represent. The tiny alien's chest tightened. Then many will die. Yes, the captain said softly. Unless the galaxy changes. The warlord laughed through the speakers. Final warning. Weapons charged, human fighters launched, space lit up with fire and movement. The battle began. The tiny alien was taken to a protected room, but it could still feel everything. Fear, rage, pain. The warlord's ships did not hesitate. They fired on human escape routes. They targeted medical ships. They showed no mercy. The tiny alien cried out, clutching its head. This is my fault, it whispered. A human engineer knelt beside it. No, he said. This is fear fighting. To survive. The tiny alien felt something change inside. It had been reacting before. Sharing feelings without control. Now. It chose. It focused on the humans first. Their courage. Their care for each other. Their refusal to abandon the weak. It linked gently. Human pilots felt calm spread through them. Panic faded. Movements became precise. They trusted each other without words. The battle shifted. The tiny alien reached further. It touched the enemy. Ships. Not with pain. With memory. The warlord's soldiers suddenly felt things they had buried. Faces of people they had lost. Screams they had caused. Guilt they had drowned in violence. Some froze. Some dropped their weapons. One ship powered down completely. What is happening? The warlord shouted. The tiny alien's body shook violently. Now blood trickled from its nose. The strain was tearing at it. The engineer shouted for help. The captain rushed in. "Stop," he said urgently. "You're hurting yourself." The tiny alien looked at him. Tears in its eyes. "If I stop," it said weakly, "they will never stop." The captain hesitated, then made a choice. "All ships," he said over the channel, "form around the child." Humans moved without question. They placed their ships between the tiny alien and the Fae. Enemy. Living shields. The tiny alien felt it. That choice, that kindness, something inside. It broke open completely. A wave spread across the battlefield. Stronger than before. Clearer. Not control. Understanding. The warlord screamed as his voice cracked. "Make it stop." But it did not stop. Ships retreated. Weapons shut down. Soldiers wept. Some begged. The warlord's image flickered, then vanished. Silence. Return to space. The tiny alien collapsed. Humans caught it before it hit the floor. Medical alarms rang. The captain looked out at the retreating enemy fleet. His voice low. "They came to crush kindness," he said. "They forgot what happens when it refuses to break." As the tiny alien drifted in and out of consciousness, it felt many minds at once. The galaxy was afraid again, but this time, it was not afraid of power. It was afraid of what kindness had just proven it could do. The tiny alien did not wake for a long time. Its body lay still in the medical chamber, surrounded by quiet machines and soft lights. Human medics worked without panic, without shouting. They spoke in low voices, careful not to disturb it. "It pushed itself too far," one medic said. "It didn't know how to stop," another replied. The captain stood nearby, arms crossed, eyes heavy with worry. He had seen many battles. He had lost friends. But watching something so small nearly burn itself away for others felt worse than any defeat. Outside the ship, the galaxy watched. News spread fast. Faster than fear. Faster than lies. Entire fleets had powered down. Pirate groups had vanished into deep space. Worlds that once sold slaves suddenly closed their markets, not because of law, because something inside them felt wrong. The council chambers were in chaos. "This cannot continue," one leader shouted. "It is rewriting behavior," another said. "It is dangerous," a third insisted. An old council member, silent until now, spoke slowly. "No," she said. "It is revealing us." The words hung in the air. Back on the human ship, the tiny alien finally stirred. Its eyes opened, weak and unfocused. The medic leaned in at once. "Easy," she said. "You're safe." The tiny alien tried to sit up and failed. Panic flashed across its face. "The battle," it whispered. "The warlord. He ran," the medic said. They all did. The tiny alien closed its eyes. Relief washed over it, followed by fear. "What did I do?" "It asked." The captain stepped closer. "You showed the galaxy a mirror." The tiny alien turned its head toward him. "Mirrors get broken," the captain nodded. "Sometimes. But sometimes people finally see themselves." Days passed. The tiny alien healed slowly. Humans took turns sitting with it. They told stories. Simple ones, about home, about families, about small moments that mattered. The tiny alien listened. It learned about birthdays, about promises, about choosing to help even when it hurt. One night, the tiny alien spoke quietly. "I feel them all," it said. "The galaxy. Louder now. They are confused. "That's not a bad thing," the captain replied. "It is dangerous," the tiny alien said. "They will try to control me again." "Yes," the captain agreed, "they will." The tiny alien's small hands clenched the blanket. "Then I must leave." The captain said nothing at first. "You saved us," the tiny alien continued. "But I will bring war if I stay." The captain finally spoke. "You didn't create this. Fear did. You only showed another way." The tiny alien shook its head. "I cannot keep using kindness like a weapon." The captain smiled sadly. "Then don't." The tiny alien looked up, confused. "Make it a choice," the captain said. "Not something you force. Something you offer." The tiny alien felt the truth of that. Days later, the Galactic Council sent a message, not a demand. An invitation. They wanted to meet the tiny alien. Not to judge, to understand. The tiny alien stood before the screen, small and thin, flanked by humans. "I am not your enemy," it said. "I do not wish to control you." The council speaker lowered his head slightly. "Then teach us how to live with what you are." The tiny alien took a long breath. "I will not make you feel," it said. "I will let you choose to listen." The silence that followed was heavy. Then, slowly, one council member removed their emotional shield. Then another. Not all, but enough. Across the galaxy, something shifted again. Not sudden, not forced. Chosen. The tiny alien felt lighter. Weaker. Maybe. But free. That night, it stood by the observation window with the captain, watching stars drift past. "I am afraid," the tiny alien admitted. "So are we," the captain said. "That never stops." The tiny alien looked up at him. "Then why do you keep choosing kindness?" The captain thought for a moment. "Because fear ends things," he said. "Kindness gives them a chance." The tiny alien felt the truth of that settle deep inside. The galaxy was still unstable, still dangerous, still full of those who hated change. But something had happened that could not be undone. Kindness was no longer a weakness. It was a decision, and the galaxy had just learned that humans and one tiny alien would keep choosing it, no matter the cost. The war did not end with a final battle. There was no great explosion, no last enemy ship burning in space. Instead, the fighting faded, slowly and unevenly, like a storm losing its strength. Some regions of the galaxy accepted change quickly. Others resisted, clinging to fear like a shield. But nothing went back to the way it was before. The tiny alien stood on a quiet platform inside the Galactic Council station. It was no longer shaking. Its body was still small, still fragile, but its eyes were steady now. Humans stood beside it, not in front, not behind. Together, across the wide chamber, leaders from many worlds watched. Some looked uneasy. Some looked curious. A few looked angry. None looked certain anymore. The council speaker stepped forward. "History will remember this moment," the speaker said. "Not because of war, but because the galaxy hesitated." The tiny alien listened carefully. "For the first time," the speaker continued, "power did not decide the future. Choice did. A new law was presented. Not forced. Offered. No species could be hunted for its nature. No child could be traded. Empathy-based beings would be protected, not erased. Some leaders objected. They argued about safety, about control, about old threats. The tiny alien raised its hand. "I will not make you agree," it said. "But I will stay, I will listen, and I will leave if you ask." The chamber fell silent. That offer changed everything. One by one, leaders signaled approval. Not all, but enough. The law passed. Across the galaxy, reactions followed fast. Slave markets closed. Not all, but many. Soldiers questioned orders. Scientists rewrote old theories about strength. Fear did not vanish, but it no longer ruled alone. On the human ship, life slowly returned to normal. Repairs were made, wounds healed, laughter came back. The tiny alien had its own small room now, not a cage. A room. With a window, with stars. Children from Earth sent messages. Drawings, simple words. You are brave. You are kind. You are not alone. The tiny alien kept everyone. One day, the tiny alien asked the captain a question. What will I become? It asked. The captain smiled. That's up to you. The tiny alien thought about that. It was no longer a weapon. No longer a prisoner. No longer alone. It chose a path. It would travel. With humans, with others who wished to learn. It would help worlds talk before they fought. It would remind them what fear tried to hide, not by forcing feeling. By sharing stories, years passed. Statues were not built. Empires did not fall overnight. But something deeper changed. When leaders met, empathy was part of the room. When soldiers trained, they learned restraint. When children learned history, they learned this story too. About a tiny alien in a cage. And the humans who knelt instead of raising a weapon. On a quiet day, far from any war zone, the tiny alien stood on a green world. Wind moved through tall grass. The sky was wide and blue. For the first time, it felt truly safe. The captain, older now, stood beside it. Do you regret it? He asked. Choosing kindness? The tiny alien smiled. No, it said. I learned something. What? That kindness does not change the galaxy alone, the tiny alien replied. It changes people, and people change the galaxy. The stars above shimmered. Somewhere out there, fear still waited. It always would. But it would never again be unchallenged. Because the galaxy had learned something it could not forget. Kindness was not weakness. Kindness was not chaos. Kindness was courage. And once courage was shared, the galaxy was never the same again.